Well, today we're starting a 3-week series on faith and reason, and I'm joined in the studio by Corey Miller, the president of Ratio Christi. Corey, before we get into our angles on faith and reason, a lot of skeptics today have a problem with faith. Why is that?
Yeah. Well, part of it is because of what believers themselves do in terms of making faith come across as blind. Mark Twain once said that faith is believing what you know ain't true. And that kind of captures it, I think.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people in our culture then, that's how they view it, right? Is faith is for people who want to sort of turn off their brains.
Who need a crutch.
Yeah. But you're here to share with us that that's actually not true. In fact, you're going to share 3 different angles on the topic, right? We're going to talk about it from a historical perspective, a scriptural perspective, and a philosophical perspective.
Right.
So the first thing you say is this, that history proves that faith is compatible with reason. What do you mean by that?
And I would say Christian faith, because there are a lot of different kinds of faiths.
Yeah.
But the self-understanding internal to Christianity, beginning with Jesus himself, is that Christianity is actually part of a knowledge tradition. I mean, it's the goal, according to Jesus, that the goal of life, the good life, is the knowledge of God, he says in John 17. Through the early and late Middle Ages, the entire project was captured by an expression in Latin, fides correns intellectum, faith seeking understanding. You have someone like Moses Maimonides, the greatest philosopher and legal scholar of probably all of Judaism, who believed that faith was a moral virtue. Or contemporary Thomas Aquinas, one of the most prolific authors in the Christian tradition, who wrote almost 100 books before he died at age 49 without the help of the printing press. He believed that faith was an intellectual virtue, that without which none of the other virtues are even virtuous. And so he certainly didn't see faith as blind. And faith in Latin is the word fides, and it means trust or confidence in a trustworthy person or object.
Now, I would imagine that some people watching this video might be surprised to hear this. So historically speaking, faith and knowledge really do go hand in hand.
Right. It's understood as a knowledge tradition. As a matter of historical fact, you can see how this has been fleshed out on the notion of faith by the faithful by looking at the centers of reason in our culture called the universities.
Right.
These things were largely established in the context of and motivated by Christian faith. So we think about the earliest universities in Europe, and Bologna, Paris, Oxford, Cambridge, or the earliest ones in America for the first 2 centuries at least, beginning with Harvard and Yale and Princeton and Columbia, or the first universities in South Korea and in India. All of these virtually were started by being oriented toward the Christian faith and from the Christian angle. When you think about even modern science, most of the founders of the subdisciplines of modern science had as their inspiration and information in their disciplines coming from the Christian faith. You have a monk in his monastery, the father of modern genetics, Gregor Mendel. You have Robert Boyle in chemistry, or Linnaeus in taxonomy. You have Newton in physics. On and on the list could go about men who saw what they were doing is reflecting contemplatively on the 2 books of God, the Word of God and the work of God, Scripture and nature. So not only has the history of the tradition seen that faith was part of a knowledge tradition, it was compatible, but it also provided the pillars of Western civilization.
All right, so that's history, but you also say this, that Scripture itself, the Bible, teaches that faith goes beyond mere belief. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, biblically speaking, faith has more to it than intellectual assent, but it is no less than intellectual assent. Biblical faith ought never be in opposition to reason. The Latin term fides is derived from the New Testament term pistis, which means trust, faith, belief. And it's defined in the New Testament as the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen.
So it's not actually Mark Twain's definition. What we find in Scripture isn't Mark Twain's definition, right? That's more about blind faith, right? Scripture doesn't teach that we should have blind faith.
Right, exactly. And faith in God, it's something of a controversy because it's most often confused with mere belief, without evidence, perhaps without action. And that's not the identity of faith in the Bible. For example, you could have something like 2 + 2 = 4 involving exclusive terms of intellectual assent. But the Judeo-Christian notion of faith also goes beyond mere belief in this way. And that's why, philosophically speaking, philosophers distinguish, naturally so, belief in and belief that. For example, I might believe that Hitler existed, and I believe that banana shakes taste great. And those would be both objective and subjective truth claims, yet both are, in fact, truth claims.
So you're talking about the third angle. You're saying that philosophy itself requires that reasonable belief is unavoidable. Because I could even see the skeptic watching this video saying, I don't really care what Scripture says because I don't believe in Scripture. And so your last angle is about philosophy itself.
Yes, that's true in the sense that for most of our beliefs, it's the most we can hope for. Coming back to the question that we might be concerned about, I believe in God, entails that I believe that God exists, but it goes beyond that, where philosophers distinguish belief that and belief in. There's something of a volitional consent, something where I'm going to put my boots on. I'm going to subjectively commit more of myself than mere intellectual assent. There is this uncomfortable tension between evidence that God is real and the commitment for religious believers in God's existence. But that's not unique to religious beliefs, Brian.
Right.
For example, if I was going to fly or drive to Princeton University, I have a maybe 90% probability in my conclusion that my vehicle or the plane will get me there. I can't have certainty in that. But at the same time, I can't just get into the plane or the car with 90% of my being. I've got to get in 100%. And this is how most of our beliefs work. My confidence level requires that there be a disproportion between my mere belief that and my belief in, even in something like that. And so I think it can be said categorically that for most of the beliefs we hold on anything at all, we lack certainty, and because of that, the question is going to be whether or not each of our beliefs is a reasonable belief to hold. Every belief we hold almost is a composite of faith plus reason or belief plus evidence, unless it's found in the fields of math and logic or introspective philosophy. And I think that what we'll find also is that faith plays an important role even in science.